Right now on Up with KREM, you may be waking up to this alert on your phone. Police had the area near Liberty Park blocked off for hours overnight while they searched for a suspect. We've got the latest for you.
And it is a chilly start to the day. Temperatures down in the 20s across the inland northwest, but we are talking warmer weather on the way.
We're starting our show with breaking news. A massive overnight manhunt just came to an end near Liberty Park in the Perry neighborhood. Thank you so much for watching Up with KREM. I'm Dana Marie McNichol.
And I'm Joshua Robinson. We're going to get right to that breaking news as police have had those areas near Liberty Park blocked off for hours, but officers have just given us their update a short while ago. Here's our Brandon T. Jones now with the latest. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Joshua, Dana Marie. I'm still in the Perry district, and behind me is what's left of that massive manhunt that took place this morning. Officers had a huge perimeter set up all across Spokane, and just within the last hour or so, an officer told me they're investigating the suspect who was found deceased with a self-inflicted wound. Major Crimes is taking over the investigation, but around 1:30 this morning, an officer in West Plains actually reported to the situation. He reported shots were fired at him, and that's when the suspect hopped in his vehicle and fled to Spokane. Spokane Police Department took over the situation, and they also reported that officers had shots fired at them, but thankfully no officers were injured. I got to speak with Spokane Police Department about the situation, and they told me this area is now officially clear and there's no more danger to worry about here in the Perry District.
With the assistance of several different units, we located the subject in the area who appeared to be deceased, and our major crimes detectives are coming out now to take over and continue the investigation.
I got down here myself around 4 o'clock this morning. There was officers everywhere. Several units were also assisting with this process. I saw Spokane Valley police cars. I saw the Spokane County Sheriff's Office assisting with the subject. And the Spokane Police Department did tell me it will be a few more hours as they continue to investigate. So more information will likely be released about the suspect at a later time. But once again, this area here in the Perry District is confirmed to be safe once again, and there's not going to be any problems as you make your way out for work. Joshua, Dana Marie.
And of course, we will continue to follow this story this morning. For any new updates, you can check out KREM.com. Jeremy?
It was a beautiful start to the day, Joshua. No doubt about that at all. But now that the sun's up, expect temperatures to finally start rising. We are down in the 20s early on today, sitting comfortably at 28 degrees here in Spokane. And around the inland northwest, that's pretty much where we are. Temperatures in the mid to upper 20s. Coeur d'Alene sits at 26 in Moses Lake. You head north, though, Sandpoint, 23 degrees. Wenatchee now down to 30. We're going to watch wind pick up later on this afternoon. Think wind gusts up near 20 miles per hour here in Spokane. Out in central portions of the state, wind will be a bit stronger later today, especially off to the north. And that is going to take us into Tuesday, where wind is really starting to pick up across the region. So today, think of it this way. Sunny, clear this morning. Later on this afternoon, it's a mix of clouds and sun. Some isolated showers. Those mainly stick off to the north of Spokane, north of Coeur d'Alene. Tomorrow we start clearing out. Wind picks up across the region, and it's a windy Tuesday, taking us into warmer temperatures later this week. So for now, clear skies take us into the morning. By noon, we're up to 50 degrees, and then we stay there with the mix of clouds and sun this afternoon as wind picks up out of the north and northeast.
Well, week 3 of the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin starts today. The second week was all about law enforcement and medical experts. The Minneapolis police chief and 7 other Minneapolis police officers have now testified, and this includes several training officers, that in their view, Officer Derek Chauvin went too far.
That is not part of our policy. That is not what we teach.
The subject was under control and handcuffed. Would this be authorized?
I would say no.
The prosecution could rest its case in the coming days. We'll continue our live coverage of the trial today on the CW22 when it continues after 7 a.m. 6:35 this morning. Right now, nationwide, more than 70 million people are fully vaccinated. But many states, including ours, are bracing for fewer doses over the next couple of weeks because of a slowdown in the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Only 700,000 doses are allocated to states for next week. That's about 85% less than the last week. A contamination issue at a Baltimore production plant forced about 15 million doses to be thrown out. More than 35% of Americans have received at least one vaccine dose. In Georgia, Colorado, North Carolina, and Iowa combined, there have been more reports of more than 45 adverse reactions to the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine. That includes 8 people who had reactions at the Cumming Fairgrounds site on Wednesday. That's out of 425 Johnson & Johnson shots that were administered that day. Now, the CDC says it's aware of incidents where people have experienced dizziness or lightheadedness, felt faint, or experienced rapid breathing or sweating. But the agency says it hasn't found reason for concern with the vaccine lots and is still encouraging sites to keep administering the shot. Johnson & Johnson says it is sharing these reports with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and other health authorities. They say when we receive reports of adverse events in individuals receiving our medicines and vaccines, we collect the necessary information and carefully assess the events.
6:36 now. It's time for your speed feed stories you'll see on social media today. Kicking it off with NASA as it delays the Ingenuity helicopter's first test flight on Mars. NASA had some issues testing it over the weekend. Scientists want to make sure everything checks out in case anything goes wrong. NASA says the robotic helicopter won't fly until at least April 14th, this Wednesday, but when it does, the first flight will only be about 30 seconds, and it'll only hover about 10 feet off the surface of the red planet. As an artist, you never really know how your work touches other people. The virtual exhibit at the Wausau Museum of Contemporary Art in Wisconsin is one of several scheduled to be sent to the moon. One Wisconsin doctor is one of 1,200 artists around the world whose work will be digitized and will hitch a ride up to the moon on July 21st. She wants the project to be a message to future explorers that even in this time of war and a pandemic, even climate change, there's also creativity, beauty, and hope. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has dominated every industry he's taken on, from wrestling to Hollywood. But he may be ready to try something new. He's been hinting about a potential political run for president of the United States. He recently asked fans on Instagram about it. A recent survey said nearly half of Americans would approve of the next career step for The Rock. And history was made at the Masters tournament over the weekend. Hideki Matsuyama became the first Japanese golfer ever to win the green jacket in Augusta, Georgia. The victory comes 10 years after his debut as the best amateur at Augusta National. Matsuyama called the win an absolute dream, and he says he's hoping to make Japan's Olympic team to compete in Tokyo this summer. I can't imagine anyone else is better than him to be on that team, but maybe Japan has really amazing golfers.
Oh man, Matsuyama came out strong and just stayed strong all weekend long. Looked a lot like me on the course, Dana Marie.
Oh, all right. Well, Jeremy and I are actually playing a little bit later today, so if you're anything like him, I am out of luck.
No, I'm not. He's really good.
Can I just hear you two trash talk each other for a little while? Let's just do it. Keep going.
I'm not a very good trash talker, Joshua, but all I know is that if Jeremy's ball seems to land in Lake Coeur d'Alene, I don't know what happened. Maybe I did a little toss.
Wait. Nuh-uh.
We'll see. We'll keep you guys updated who wins this round tomorrow.
All right, and coming up after the break, we're going to take you outside, talk a chilly start to the work week, but don't worry, temperatures are on the rise, and it might be a great week to get outside and maybe take the balloon for a ride. All right, weather coming up.